corporations today have a vested interest in getting closer to entrepreneurs earlier than they have in the past. In the past, and I'm talking about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, large corporations didn't want to talk to a startup until they were proven, established, had some proven revenues and so forth. Today, they're willing to look at them a lot sooner, and for many reasons. One is corporate R&D spending is always being one of the budgets that always gets slashed. So corporations are looking more and more, kind of see, look outside to see for innovations that may be relevant to them. So they kind of use us as a scouting platform to scout new technologies. The other reason why they like them is really because just to stay in touch with competition. Today, with the advent of the cloud computing platforms and everything else, it does not cost very much to build technology. I mean, think about it. There are over 150,000 iPhone apps, right? These are 150,000 little companies. And with cloud computing, the nice thing is, in the past, if you want to build the internet, let's say internet business, you had to invest at a minimum $50,000 to acquire the hardware, to rent out a data center space. Today, you go to Amazon or even ourselves, and for $70 a month, you have managed servers, and you can start building applications and so forth, and building your internet business. So, the parameters of, basically developing technology, the barriers have gone down lower. The other reason why large corporations are kind of interested in partnering with us is because it's an opportunity to basically seed their products and services into these startups. So all these companies that are here at Plug&Play, none of them want to stay small. They all have visions of becoming, the next Google, the next Yahoo, the next Cisco, right? So, and some will make it. And so the nice thing is our corporate partners, they kind of see if we develop some programs, pricing programs, marketing programs, provide some technical support for these companies early on, as they grow, then they will become maybe hopefully loyal customers and continue doing business with us. So, and then the other thing that we do with our corporations is, and maybe you guys will agree or disagree with us here, but startup projects and corporations tend to fail. They fail before they even start. And the reason why is, entrepreneurs have to be nimble and move quickly. They're multitasking, doing many things at once. At a corporate level, the battle is, whose budget is this going to come from? Whose P&L is, all the data, manage all the data center stuff. So projects seem to always kind of lag a little bit, and they don't kind of progress as fast as they could, let's say, in an environment here, where these corporate entrepreneurs are in an environment amongst other entrepreneurs. So what we have is, we have some programs with some of our corporate partners where they incubate some of their projects here, and then basically spin them out, and then when the appropriate time, spin them in. And it provides a couple of benefits. One benefit is that they get exposed to other entrepreneurs. The second thing is they could validate it in the market a lot sooner and hopefully make some courses, whereas inside a corporation, sometimes they tend to be focused only on things relevant to the corporation. So, we have these programs, and I'll show you some of our corporate pavilions on the second floor. But the nice thing about these programs is, as we work with larger corporations, and this is a partial sampling, but what we do is, for instance, I'll give you an example on PayPal. And PayPal is a nice story because we actually invested in PayPal when PayPal was a startup. So you can see them over there, on our board. So now, so PayPal, we were the first investors into PayPal. PayPal now is a nice large corporation who is a subsidiary of, eBay. And they're the world's largest e-commerce platform. So what PayPal is doing today, and I'll tell you how we're partnering up with them, is they are opening up their APIs to the developer community, right? So they want developers to start building new products and applications on this PayPal platform. So what we do is we work with them, they also have university relationships and we have university relationships. But we work with them to basically provide support, both financial support and technical support at the university. Today we're working at the university level for those university entrepreneurs who want to develop, basically applications that are e-commerce or some sort of payment platform. And the nice thing about it is all those startups can actually be in a facility here with PayPal coming here at least once every other day. And then so what we also do with them is, just to give you an idea, of some of the things we do from a marketing perspective, at Plug&Play we do over 100 events a year. So PayPal usually takes, a section maybe at time if there's relevant to maybe do some technical discussions. We'll maybe have some of their team members participate on panels. We'll have some of the high-level people speak as keynote speakers and so forth. So we really work closely with a lot of our corporate partners. Number one, to help them develop their message, and also for them to help us support the entrepreneurial community. So it's really, and then, we of course do deal flows. A lot of corporations want to see what technologies are maybe synergistic to them. They may want to license the technology, or they may want to basically ultimately acquire the company. So just to give you an idea, we work with corporations around the world. Like for instance, Singtel. You're familiar with Singtel? Singtel is Southeast Asia's largest telephone carrier. They're out of Singapore, but they're also in Austria, India, Philippines. So basically, to give you an idea, they have 280 million mobile subscribers. So they're in about 11 countries in Southeast Asia. But Singtel basically comes here once a month. In fact, they were here yesterday. Just to give you an idea how active and successful the program is. Last time they were here, not this last one, but the one before, we showed them 5 companies. 4 of them have licensing agreements now with Singtel. So Singtel loves it because, carriers today are very interested in finding new revenue streams for themselves. The traditional brick and mortar model, they want services and so forth. So now they love us because instead of them trying to develop new technologies, they come to Plug&Play, and it's like coming to a candy store. They can kind of see, what technologies are out there, and they license them and so forth. To the point now where we're actually now opening up facilities in Singapore, and in partnership with the government. So, and I'll talk about our international program in a second, but let's not go into that. But anyway, the whole idea is, from a corporate perspective, there's many reasons, as you can see, for corporations to want to work closely with entities like ourselves. And, it's a win-win, once again, win-win situation for everyone. Now, these large corporations also participate by helping sponsoring some of these large conferences. Because our conferences will have 500 to 600 people attend them. And so it's nice, it's good branding, it's a good networking environment, and so forth. And maybe what I can do is real quickly talk about this ecosystem that we support. Our ecosystem involves, first and foremost, of course, are the entrepreneurs, the startups. It involves the investment community, both venture capital and angel investors, and corporate venture capital. It includes basically the large corporations, both technical, so we mostly work with technology companies, but right now we're also trying to work with more traditional businesses. So for instance, Best Buy, where's Best Buy? Best Buy right here. They're a large retailer, but they also have a venture arm, and so we work very closely with them because even though they have a big focus on consumer electronic products, they're also interested in transportation. They're interested in clean tech. They're interested in mobile and so forth. So and for us, Chevron, we're just trying to build a relationship with the oil companies because they're also interested, or Cemex in Mexico. So, they come here, and so there's a lot of traditional, what we consider traditional companies that are very interested in seeing what technologies can maybe help them, increase their revenues and help them in their businesses. So, once again, corporations play a very large part in our ecosystem, and then you have the universities, because if you look at Silicon Valley, the history of Silicon Valley, these large companies, the Ciscos, the Suns, the Googles, the Yahoos, they all came out of where? Out of the universities.